Hi, this week you are going to be looking at Indigenous backgrounds when it comes to social injustice. So, for this week's learning, you're going to just do a minds on, look at the troubling legacy of post colonialism. And specifically throughout this unit, we're going to look at three subjects: Australian experience, South American experience, and the residential school experience. These are quick little clips you can watch just to get your mind turning on each experience here. South American and the First Nations experience. And then you're going to pop in, you're going to complete your first discussion. So watch these videos below that we just went through and create a big question, one big question, and just do a little preliminary research on it. So maybe you want to know how much destruction is actually happening in the rainforest. And then you're going to complete a little bit of a research on that, and you're going to post it for your classmates to review. And then you're going to hop into the second activity. So the first exploration will be, like I said, the Australian experience, the Australian Aboriginal experience, and then we'll move to South America next week, and you'll be looking at the Indigenous experience as well next week. But for this week, read through the content and see where the history and the legacy of post-colonialism resides in the Australian experience. And look at the four main social justice and equity issues that we'll be looking at here are reconciliation, self-determination, separation of Indigenous children from their family, and the development of Indigenous rights. So each section here below has a little bit of research and information. So read through that and read through the research and some of the information. Make yourself aware of some of the content, and then you're going to pop right down here to your assignment. And this is where you're going to get explicit instruction on how to make an inquiry question, and you're going to make a big inquiry question that you can research. And it is going to be on one of these topics. So these topics are probably already familiar to you, from the Indigenous Australian experience and from the First Nations experience. We do have reconciliation. We do have self-determination and Indigenous self-governance here in Canada, separation of Indigenous children from their family, and in Canada we have residential schools, development of Indigenous rights, and in Canada we have the development of Indigenous rights in governmentship as well. So you're going to create a big inquiry question and you're going to do some research. And you're going to have a look here, open up this Google document, and you are going to go through the document here and create your social justice issue. How is your question meaningful, narrow, specific language, and is not a yes or no question? So if I really wanted to know, are there still issues happening today in Australia? Well, that is an important and a meaningful question to ask. It's going to lead to a yes or no answer. So creating a rich question that's going to be meaningful, impactful, have specific language. Watch that video, it will show you how. And then you're going to find 5 sources around this issue, and you're going to summarize the source and describe if, so say I looked at the United Union's page and I want to say, oh yes, it's an effective source. It has accurate, up-to-date information. This is the information that it had that I sourced out, and don't forget any APA references you should be using. So 5 sources on that topic, and how are the resources credible. All right, that is your learning for this week. So make sure you reach out if you have any questions. I am here to support. Thank you.